little stressful, to tell you the truth, but it's just a matter of figuring it all out. I do household management for people, and right now I'm on quarantine from everybody, and all of my pet sitting jobs now through August, except for one trip in June that they're going to the beach, has been canceled. So that was a bummer, but I foresaw that happening. And I take care of one child during the week for 1 to 2 days. It's second grade, so we do lots of fun things, and we Instagrammed to Al Roker yesterday to see if he has any sparkly glasses, if anyone saw that on my Instagram page, because you know we have to keep it fun. But that's me.
Thanks, Alice. Kayla, I see your mic off. You want to go ahead and go next? Did you hear me, Kayla?
Oh, sorry, I have tapping going on beside me and I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. Hi, my name is Kayla Delp. I'm a certified dog trainer and owner of KNC Canine Life Skills, LLC. I specialize in force-free dog training and canine behavior intervention. I have received essential exemption from the North Carolina Department of Revenue that I can offer in-home sessions at this time, provided I am adhering to social distancing, 6 feet, wearing a medical mask, and nitrile gloves. Yep, that's me, Kayla Delp with KNC Canine Life Skills.
Thanks, Kayla. Estelle, you have your mic off. We'll have you go next.
I'll go next. Thanks for the reminder, Alice. I caught a little sidetracked with Zoom remote learning. I'm Estelle Solik. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and a nutrition coach with Living Well with Estelle. Currently, I am helping people regain control of their corona eating. So it's been nice to help folks who have been struggling and trying, especially women. You know, we're really always taking care of other people and putting our priorities on the back burner as we try to juggle life and responsibilities and work. And so I love working with women to help them get to those health goals, make some healthy habits. Even now, you may think I don't have the bandwidth to deal with thinking about my health, but it is important that we take care of our bodies because that's how we can strengthen our immune system. So my tip for you, as much as you would love to be eating a lot of sugar right now and emotional eating, try to cut down on your sugar because having excess sugar does lower our immune systems, and that's not what we need right now. So put some healthy snacks at eye level, just like when you go to the grocery store, they put all those sugary cereals right where the kids can see it. It's the same thing you do for yourself. Put foods that are going to be nourishing your body and make you feel good and not feel guilty after eating it, where you can see it, so that that's what you're reaching for first. So just take care of your bodies, and if you need any help or support right now, I have a private Facebook group where we are keeping each other accountable, and I'd love to have you guys join me. So I'm Estelle Solik of Living Well with Estelle.
Thanks, Estelle. I just want to remind everybody that they can go ahead and put into the chat their contact information, and I will be sending out the information this afternoon in regards to that. Who would like to go next? Tammy?
Okay, I'll make my lunch, my healthy lunch. I'm having a salad because I am a diabetic. I'm Tammy Taz with Rock the Taz Bar Photography, and I am an essential worker, as so is Kayla. I have my paperwork saying I can do my photography work. So if you need a photo session, give me a call. Tammy Taz, Rock the Taz Bar Photography.
Thank you. Let's see who else is on. Jen Bruns, sorry.
That's okay. Thanks, Alice, for inviting me and sending me a message. I'm Jen Bruns with Helping Angels, here to make your life easier, offering people some extra time in their lives while we can take care of cleaning the house, running errands, doing laundry, anything that can, help out. And we also offer companionship for seniors and disabled, taking them to appointments and doing grocery shopping for them and that sort of thing. Jen with Helping Angels.
Thanks, Jen. Janet, you want to go next?
Okay. This is Janet Mason. I'm the Executive Director of Horse and Buddy, and we do therapeutic horseback riding for people who have disabilities. We're obviously not riding right now, but we did do a farm safari drive-through last night for our riders and our volunteers, and it was so much fun. And we're opening it up to the community on Saturday from 2 to 4. So if anybody wants to get out of the house, if you have kids, if you don't have kids, doesn't matter. Come just drive through our facility, see some horses, learn some fun facts about what we do, fun facts about horses, and there's a little scavenger hunt in there as well. So really, it was a fun time last night. It was kind of our pilot to see how it would go, and we all couldn't believe it was over when it was 2 hours. It went so fast. So invite you out for that on Saturday. Again, it's Janet with Horse and Buddy, and I'll put all that information in the chat as well. Thanks.
Thanks, Janet. Demi, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Demi Goldman. I am with the Ladies 1099 board. I also have a Facebook page called Cooks with Scissors, and I've been remiss. I have not put anything on there. I have been doing plenty of cooking without or with scissors or without scissors, where I've just been putting things together that you don't need to cut up. So Wendy's given me the eye, like, I need some recipes. I need some help. So I will gladly, I'm going to try to put some stuff up this week. Demi Goldman, Cooks with Scissors, and Ladies 1099.
We're going to keep you accountable on that one. We'll see what you have for next week. Tina, do you want to go next?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Hi, everybody. It's great to see everyone. I am Tina Owen with Damsel in Defense. I am a personal safety specialist, and it is my goal to keep everyone safe and healthy. And we actually, Damsel will be offering reusable masks coming up in the near future. If anybody is interested, please let me know. I don't have any more information on that just yet, but that is in the future. That's coming in the near future. So let me know. Also, just a reminder for everybody, when you are out and about, please, please, please keep your head on a swivel and pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to who is around you. Now that we're all at home, everybody typically feels the safest when they are at home, but this is now a great time for you to look around your house and stage your house for safety. Make sure that you have some sort of self-protection item staged in strategic locations around your home. Tina Owen, Damsel in Defense.
Thanks, Tina. And I had you down as the speaker for next week. Is that still on go?
Oh, okay, sure.
All right. Okay. Let's see, there's some other people who joined on. Deborah Lord, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure, you hear me okay?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Hi, I'm Deborah Lord. I have a physical therapy practice in Raleigh, and we're still up and running. We're one of the few, as we have learned. But my real fame comes for this group, and I'm a Monate hair and skin representative. So Monate is natural and essential oil products with a modern nature, little twist that helps gives us the best hair and skin possible. So need some help in pampering yourself? I'm your lady. Bye-bye.
Cool. Thank you. I see that there was a person by the name of Rachel that was on. Her mic's off right now, but I don't know if she wants to introduce herself. Oh, she's too. Sorry. Your mic's off.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Thank you. Sorry, I just figured you guys didn't want to watch me eating my lunch. Oh, hey, Hope.
Whoa, hello
Nice
there. Hi.
So I'm Rachel Cox with the Entrepreneur Source. So I represent over 200 franchises. So I help people explore business ownership through franchising. So right now, the clients, the referrals that I'd be looking for are people who are laid off, in career transition, thinking about doing something else, maybe not wanting to go back to corporate America. There I see Michelle Gladstone too. So exciting. Some great faces. But anyway, so what I'm looking for is just people who want to have a conversation about what their future can look like, and in a possibilities mindset. And so I do look for people who have an entrepreneurial spirit, but maybe don't know what their skill set is, maybe don't know what their natural behavior is. So we help them explore that. And I am a complimentary service because I do get paid by the franchisor. So I kind of call myself the realtor of the franchise world, trying to match the right people to the right franchise. So Rachel Cox, the Entrepreneur Source.
Welcome, Rachel. Thanks so much for joining us. I have Michelle Gladstone who joined in, and then after her, Hope, and then Heidi. We'll go in that order, and then we will allow Carleen to introduce herself and give her presentation.
Well, great. Thanks for having me today. I'm sorry I was late. My name is Michelle Gladstone, and I am an AFLAC agent. I just recently promoted in January to a district sales coordinator. What that means is I help other agents that are coming into the business to know how to do their business and how to grow a career. So I'm looking for individuals who in this uncertain time aren't quite sure what job they need to be doing. And so I can help people with that. But also, most of you guys, the ones I know, you're my friends. So if anybody needs any help with talking about telehealth, whether you need to find out if your insurance company has it so that you don't have to go to a doctor's office, I can help you figure that out. And if you don't have access to them, I've got 2 different ones that we can talk about. But also, we have short-term disability policies as well as hospital policies. For some people are eligible for those, but a critical illness policy, even for people who are don't have any employees, we can still talk about a critical illness policy. So thank you guys for having me. My name again is Michelle Gladstone with AFLAC.
Thanks for joining us today, Michelle.
Thanks, Wendy.
So I'm Hope Ethington with Club Z Tutoring, and we do a number of things. Number one, if you're stuck at home with kids, we can provide you with an hour, once, twice, 3 times, even 5 times a week to take a break. That's right, we provide online tutoring. So if you have a child that's out of school, be they elementary, middle, high school, or college age, and they're looking for something to do, guess what? We provide any subject, anywhere, anytime tutoring. Online, be it phonics, ACT, SAT, hey, even if you're looking at getting your taking your real estate exam, or your culinary arts exam, or your nursing board, we can help you. I'm Hope Ethington with Club Z Online Tutoring, where we help build futures.
Thanks, Hope.
Is it my turn, Wendy?
Heidi, it is your turn. Thank you.
Okay, I apologize for not being on video. I had forgotten about today, and I am not Zoom call ready. So my name is Heidi McKinney Simpson, and I'm your fashion fairy godmother. I am a stylist, wardrobe consultant, and personal shopper. I'm also an area leader with Park Lane Jewelry. With the shutdown, I haven't been able to really do much with my wardrobing piece. So for now, I'm focusing on the jewelry side of my business. It's a family-owned company, 65 years old. We are the 3rd oldest direct sales company in the industry. And most of you know me, so you know if it sparkles, I love it. So we actually have an event coming up Friday evening. It is a Zoom quarter auction. It's $20 to participate. You get to be in every auction, and everybody's going to win or receive something. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. I have a personal goal to get 8 more paddles sold for Friday. And it's so nice to see everybody's faces.
Thanks, Heidi. Well, thank you all again for being here. Once again, we are going to be virtual at least through the month of May is what I've kind of decided. If you feel differently, let's, reach out to me and we'll have a conversation. In the meantime, go ahead and make sure that you put in all of your information that you want people to know about you in the chat. And I will go ahead and provide an email to everybody at the end of probably later this afternoon. I'll be able to get to it. And with that being said, I want to thank Carleen for being here today. We had talked about her coming and helping us understand some of the world of accounting and things that business owners should be thinking about. Who knew that this would be a really critical piece of information that we should all be learning about at this point in time in our businesses. So Carleen, with that, I'm going to let you do your 30-second and you can take the presentation away.
Thanks. Thanks, Wendy, for inviting me. And I am Carleen Lamay with C2 Accounting and Business Support. So we're a management accounting firm. We're helping small business owners to take control of their business finances. And what that just means is we want to focus on the day-to-day business, the day-to-day finances, as opposed to just worrying about tax season. So that's kind of just the gist of what we do. I did want to share my screen because I have a little presentation. It just makes it easier to go over this. So the title is going to be talking about managing your business finances through uncertain terms. Like Wendy said, originally it was going to be just about basic business finances, but I think this is a bit more relevant to all of us. I will say I do talk fast when I get nervous. So if I talk too fast, just interrupt me and I'll slow down. So I'm going to share my screen. If I can make sure I have the right one. Yes, I think this is it. And just let me know if you guys can see that presentation. Yes?
Yes, we can see
okay,
it.
Great. All right, thank you. So again, managing your business finances in uncertain times. I'm not going to go over about me, but I will say that I am a foodie. So listening to Demi talk about cooking with scissors is right up my alley. So I'll have to check out that group pretty soon. As I said, we are a management accounting firm. And so we try to make sure that small business owners, entrepreneurs understand that when we talk about finances, it's more than just taxes. Because of course, everyone asks me about tax questions. And I try to get them to understand that, we have tax season at one time when you're filing your taxes, but as a business owner or entrepreneur, you should be kind of focused on your money all throughout the year and not just at that one time of the year. So these are going to be tips on like how we deal with this crazy time that we're living in, the uncertainty. We don't know, some of our businesses are shut down. Those who have been deemed essential, that is awesome. But for everyone, even those businesses have probably seen some reduction in the normal flow of clients and things like that. So tip number one is obviously conserve cash. When this first happened, when they first started talking about having a shutdown, that was my first tip, was to conserve cash. And what that means is reducing expenses that aren't vital. I know I'm guilty of having lots of subscriptions to membership sites, to things that I may or may not really use. And so now was the time to kind of go through and purge some of those to see, okay, 20 bucks here, $15 here. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it really does add up. So if you can cut back even temporarily on some of the outflow and expenses, this would be a great time to do that. Defer your major purchases. I've seen lots of advertisements for, crazy sales. My sister called me the other day to ask if I thought she should buy a car because it was like 0% interest for the entire life of the loan and no payments for 90 days. And, it sounds great. And if you have the money to do it, but it's kind of like, since we just don't know what's going to happen the next week, the next month, and they're talking about, who knows if we're going to have another shutdown in the fall, this might not be the best time to do a big purchase unless you're really prepared for it. And then take advantage of vendor terms to stretch out your cash. So with that, so I don't know how many people realize that Amazon, you can have a business account. And with that, you can get invoice. So you have 30 days terms. So if you need to make a purchase, for example, to buy something that you're later going to turn around and sell to a client or to produce a product for a client, instead of you paying with a credit card up front and you're having interest or paying out of cash right now, why not take advantage of those terms? You have net 30 days. It gives you time to get the product, do what you need to do, get paid by your client, and then pay your invoice. So, and that's just one example. You can also reach out to other vendors to see if they even have terms that you may not have been aware of. A lot of vendors are also offering COVID-19 relief. Some of them are reducing their subscription fees or your monthly fees, or they're deferring things for 60 or 90 days. So reach out, don't be afraid to ask questions to see what's available. It's going to help you conserve cash. Implement a system. So we talked about, I mentioned that I am a big proponent of making sure that you are taking care of your business finances and not just thinking about taxes. So have an accounting system. If you don't have one, this is the perfect time to implement one. I know that for those of us who apply for the economic impact disaster loans or the PPP loans, or you're looking for some financing from your bank, if you don't have the reports and all the information that you need at the tip of your hand, it becomes a lot more difficult to pull all that data together at the last second, especially when you're stressed. So have an accounting system in place, so when something like this happens again, or you have an opportunity to, to expand and you need to have to prove what your finances are to get financing, having those numbers readily available, it becomes a lot easier than having to pull things from various spreadsheets and things like that. And then automate your finances. I am all about making life easier, working smarter, not harder. So taking advantage of the technology that we have, and we're all here on Zoom today. So, and for those of us who weren't comfortable with technology before, we were learning that it's not as scary as maybe we thought it was. So take advantage of technology to automate your finances. If you are a single member LLC or a sole proprietor, QuickBooks Self-Employed is a great tool to manage your business finances. It allows you to just track your income, your expenses. It tells you what your quarterly estimated taxes are and when they're due, which is what gets a lot of people in trouble by not paying those quarterly taxes. So take advantage of the technology to make your life as a business owner a lot easier. And then take the time to develop a process. I know that Wendy was mentioning that she's helping some clients work on standard operating processes. Basically the exact same thing. Especially if you have some downtime, what can you do now to put processes in place to make your business run smoother in general, but also when you're doing that, look at how you can make your financial processes run a lot smoother. A lot of people tend to fall behind on managing their business finances because it's overwhelming, it's time consuming. This having a procedure in place helps you to realize where the cracks are so that things don't fall through the cracks. I know I personally have in the past have forgotten to bill a client because I didn't have a process in place. So I try to make sure people don't do that. And how do you go back 2 months later and say, hey, I forgot to bill you $500? So I ate it. I mean, it was my fault, my mistake. So we want to make sure that if you are doing the work, that you're definitely getting paid for your efforts. Diversify your revenue. This is a good time. We all know that having one stream of income can be risky. I know for me in accounting, the mindset has been to niche down, and I had planned on niching down to just restaurants because I'm a foodie. I had a few clients in that industry, and I kind of shudder to think of what would have happened had all of my accounting clients been in one industry right now. So I realized that maybe not having a niche was actually a good thing for me at this time. So if you are looking to maybe expand your different revenue sources, now it's a good time to revisit your business plan. And again, I'm going to reference Wendy because I know that you just did a post on LinkedIn about, your business plan being a living, breathing document, and going back and looking at that. We all know that a recession is actually a good time to start a business. So if you are looking to test out an idea, now might be a good time, especially if it's a business idea that doesn't require a large capital outlay. If you can kind of just put some feelers out there to see what the interest is, you might realize that you'll have, when things improve, you'll have a lot more different streams of revenue coming in that'll help cushion any future uncertainty. Tip number 4, become profitable. And that's easier said than done, I know. But I'm not sure if you're aware,
but only 40% of small businesses are profitable. So like 30% break even, and then like another 30% are actually constantly losing money. So the question is, how can you ensure that you're not in the 60% that's barely making it or losing money and become in the 40% that's profitable? I can't say recently discovered, but recently embraced the idea of something called profit first. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with that book, but if you haven't read the book, do so. It's on Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can find it anywhere, but it talks about transforming your business from a cash eating machine to a profit, or cash eating monster to a profit machine. So it's kind of counterintuitive because we're taught, profits are what's left over from your revenues after you take out your expenses. And this is try to help you to change your mindset, where it's kind of like, well, what do I want my profit to be? And the profit is, what you have after you've paid your expenses, after you've put money aside for taxes, after you've saved for emergencies, and after you've paid yourself whatever you need to pay. If you can't do all of those things and have a profit, that's the fun stuff that you want to do, the dividends that you pay yourself if you were a stockholder in your company, then you really need to look at your business structure, and you need to look at how you're spending money, and maybe is it time to increase your fees so that you can have more revenue to live the way you want it to live. I'm not going to go into all the details, but it is a really good book. You have the audio version if you just want to listen to it, but I would highly, highly suggest that you take a look at it. There's nothing certain but the uncertain, and we definitely learned this over the last couple of months. No one could have seen how much this would have impacted us. So my last tip is plan for uncertainty. Life happens, we have to be prepared. So in your business, or as well as in your personal life, you have to keep in mind that you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So try to prepare for as many scenarios as you can. Michelle has AFLAC, and I'm actually one of her clients. And, we haven't had to use our policy for anything catastrophic yet. But in case we do, I'm glad that it's there. And it's one less thing we'll have to worry about. My husband and I have always, kept canned goods and water on hand. So we bought some more stuff, but we didn't have to fall into the panic buying mode that a lot of people, went through. We had toilet paper and things like that. And so it's the same mindset with your business. What can you do financially to make sure that you're prepared for the next whatever it is? We don't know whatever's coming next. Reduce your outflow and save. I feel like a lot of us have gotten really comfortable with, low credit rates. Things were just going great for a long time. And so we just kind of knew that the next dollar was going to come in. And now we see that that may not be the case. And it takes us back to, I always think about after the Depression, how the saving rates of Americans just jumped up. They were just a lot more mindful of saving money, being more resourceful, using what they had a lot more. And that's the same thing with your business and your business finances. If you need equipment for something, can you buy it used as opposed to brand new? Just whatever you can do to kind of make sure that your business is not only profitable today, but you have some sort of cushion for tomorrow, because we just don't know what's going to happen. So let me just I'm going to recap, and then we can open up for questions. So just to reiterate what I just said, the first tip was to conserve cash and reduce any unnecessary expenses. The next one is implement a financial system as soon as possible if you don't already have one, and also reevaluate one if you do have it. Just make sure that it's working the way it should for your business. Revisit your business plan and diversify your revenue streams. Focus on being profitable, and then finally plan for uncertainties. I always just tell people, getting a handle on your money is important so you can spend time, working on your business, because time is money. And then finally, mindset plus planning. And mindset is how you think about your money, planning, and then that gives you the peace of mind that we all want so that we are successful. So that is the end of my presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen if I can figure out how to do that. And then anyone has questions, feel free.
Great job, Carly.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was very.
I do have a question. It's Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
So I loved it when you said, now is the time to open a business. So it's interesting, right? Interesting times. One of the things that I used to say is recession resistant, right? Most of the time, Hope's business, children's businesses, those kinds of things would be recession resistant, but nobody would expect an environment like this. And so what kind of things are you hearing from your clients that maybe aren't recession resistant or maybe they found that they are? You know, I loved your, just your idea about diversifying, but what are you hearing from your clients that one didn't expect this, and how are you helping them? And, you know, are you hearing a lot about the PPP and, you know, all the SBA stuff? What kind of suggestions would you have for clients right now or businesses that are kind of suffering a little bit? And and I loved your presentation, by the way, so thank you.
Thank you. So the clients that I had, I encouraged everyone to apply for the economic impact disaster loan, which was the first one that was kind of offered. I know a few of us had gotten the advance. Originally, they had said it was going to be like a $10,000 advance, but it didn't work out to be that. PPP, the same thing. Apply even if you don't have any employees, because it is supposed to be open up to solo entrepreneurs as well. We all know what happened. A lot of big businesses got loans that really should have gone to the small ones. I have one client that actually has received their PPP out of everyone who has applied. So I'm still waiting on mine. I haven't got it yet. All I can say is that I am a little surprised. I have a new client who actually bought a Quiznos franchise. Literally February 24th is when he took over this franchise. So his business suffered. But the cool thing is, because he was not relying on sit-down service, he immediately started using DoorDash and all these other Postmates and things like that. So just kind of, if you want your business to manage to last right now, and to not be to be recession resistant, just figuring out what you can do to change. You hear stories about massage therapists who obviously you can't do anything hands-on right now, but they're doing some sort of going to YouTube and doing videos and trainings. So just trying to figure out ways how you can leverage, again, technology to reach as many people as you can to kind of keep money coming in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Carleen, how often do you feel that a business owner should be meeting with their accountant or talking about their finances with somebody in their business or reviewing it themselves?
So you as a business owner should be reviewing your finances all the time. You should always know, if I asked you today what your revenues are so far this year, you should know that. Maybe not off the top of your head, but at a click of a button. You should be able at a click of a button go in and see how you're doing this quarter versus last quarter, or this year versus last year. And the only way you could do that is by having a system in place. As far as talking with your accountant, your tax preparer, or anyone else, it depends on what they're doing for you. So if for the clients that I am actually have outsourced a lot more of their back end to me, where we're actually doing their reconciliations for them, they're getting monthly reports from us, and we're always available. We go over that every month. For some, we only do quarterly. Some nonprofits, they just need someone to come in quarterly, just as a double check for their board, and so we only deal with it quarterly. But you as the business owner, regardless of how involved you are in the day-to-day finances, you should always know. You should always know what's going on. It's your business. You can't outsource the responsibility for that. No matter if they're doing the work, you need to know and understand how everything works.
Good information.
Yeah, a lot of people get into business and they're really great at what they do, and they start, making money, and they're just so busy that the back end just becomes on the back burner, and it comes back and bites them in the butt later. So.
One more time, sorry. Rachel again. So the solopreneur, I love that you mentioned, because I think sometimes people are afraid as solopreneurs to go out there and apply for any of this. But as solopreneurs, we're all equally impacted. So I have not looked at the form or anything at this point, but what's on the form, does anybody know, and Carleen, you might know, that we need to be putting on there as a solopreneur, no employees, to maybe stand a better chance of, you know, getting some assistance?
Yeah, so in the PPP, I have someone I know recently applied as a solopreneur, and they're asking for, the terminology gets confusing because they're asking for what your wages were or what you paid in payroll. Well, you don't technically have that, but what you do have is your owner's draws. So I know that for, they were looking at your kind of your net profit. So they were looking at what your expenses were minus your revenue minus your expenses, and they were considering that to be your income for the year, because as a solopreneur, you're going to pay taxes on that. That's what your Schedule C income is. So here's the catch-22. How many times have people been told to make sure that you minimize that as much as possible so you can pay as little bit in taxes? Well, now you're not going to be able to prove that, you know, I need $3,000 a month to live on because I'm showing that my business only brought in $5,000 for the entire year. So I think that's going to change how people are looking at their numbers. It's more than just about taxes, because if you're using that Schedule C to prove that you can afford a house or a car, you need to make sure that it's going to show the revenue, the profit that you're saying that you have, or you're not going to get approved for any kind of financing, personal or business wise.
Sometimes I feel it's like a catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, nobody would expect this to be happening, right? So this is probably above and beyond, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, because I have a lot of solopreneurs that I know, so I just want to share that information with them. Thank you.
And the key thing, and I know taxes is not what I want to talk about, but it's just making sure that you pay those quarterly taxes. I mean, if you're actually making money, part of being a business is you do pay taxes. I mean, most of us have to. And tracking that revenue so that you can pay quarterly and not get hit with late fees and penalties for not paying on time is really key. What happens is we don't do it quarterly, and at the end of the year we're shocked at the sticker, and that's when the problem comes. And now you're on a payment plan and you're paying all sorts of interest to the IRS, and if you can kind of get ahead of things, then you don't fall into that trap.
It's amazing how much is involved with the finance end of your business, and so many people just don't even really think about it. They're just all into wanting to get that next sale and not looking at the big picture, not looking at the big finances for their business. So I really appreciate you bringing this topic and sharing it with the group, because you know, that number of 40% of businesses, small businesses, are profitable. I just feel like I run into a lot of small business owners who are basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's just amazing and very eye-opening.
Yeah, it is. You want to definitely be able to, but the idea of working for yourself is so that you can kind of live the life you want to live. You can control your own destiny, right? I mean, that's why we do it. So figure out a way to actually make money and not just enough to eke by. It's, you know, it doesn't give you any room, a cushion in case something does happen in the future.
I heard someone talking about how they talk about individuals having, as a household, for your household budget, to have that 3 to 6 month cushion of money set aside. I've also heard recently that they were talking about how business owners should have for their business the 3 to 6 months set aside also. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a great idea. So you have two things. When most of us are lucky that we don't have a lot of overhead, we probably don't have a lot of employees, so our business expenses are not as big as, you know, a larger company. So whatever it is that you need to actually run your business is what you should have set aside in another business account that's for your cushion. And then you're taking whatever you're paying yourself, that goes into your family budget, and then you have your family cushion as well. So I definitely think you should have both. Now, what you could do to go a step further, and this is kind of talking about prepping for the extreme, is in that business account, you're going to have how much I want to be able to continue paying myself for the 3 to 6 months. And that gives you a bigger cushion. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it just kind of depends on how extreme you want to go and how safe, because for some people, it's about how safe you feel. For someone, you know, when we think about life insurance, someone goes, oh, I only need 50,000. I just want to make sure my family has enough to bury me if I pass. But for others, it's like, I need $1 million policy. I need to know that they're going to be really okay if I go. So it's how much comfort, how secure you think you need to be, because so you can sleep at night. So it's kind of up to you.
Does anybody else have any other questions for Carleen? I don't see anybody raising their hand or turning their mics on. So, Janet does have a question. Yep.
Yeah, it's actually not a question. I was just going to comment, just so everyone knows. So we did at Horse and Buddy get the Paycheck Protection Loan before they ran out of money the first time. But I have gotten 3 emails so far, maybe 4. I got one today again from the bank. You know, they're really cracking down now on all these people that got that money that didn't need it. And so you have to pretty much sign in blood that you needed that money to stay in business. And if you didn't, you have until May 7th to give it back. And evidently a lot of people are giving it back at this point because they did not need that money. And anybody who got more than $2 million, which that wasn't us. Anybody who got more than $2 million is going to be audited for that purpose. Exactly. So just so they may free up more money, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So.
And the other thing with the PPP loan is you have to prove that at least 75% is going to go towards wages. So you need to make sure you have those records, or the loan will not be forgivable. You'll have to actually pay it back. So again, having those good records in place is important.
Yeah, and that starts the day the money gets into your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So
good. That's nice to know. Thanks, Janet. So at this point, that ends the presentation part of the meeting. Again, if you want to make sure that you put your contact information into the chat, I will be sending out an email with all that information this afternoon. And again, we will be going, we're going to stay or remain virtual through the month of May. If anybody has any information that they would like to share about any sort of things that are coming up for their business, this is the time that we usually do it, the last 10 minutes of the meeting. I know Heidi mentioned that she was going to be having the quarter raffle online on Friday for $20. Heidi, what time is that quarter auction thing?
It'll be from 8 to 9:30. Like I said, tickets are $20, and to get your ticket, you just pay me. I can put, I'll put the advertisement and payment information on the 1099 page for everyone. Okay. And once I sell another 8 paddles, I am doing a drawing for a Kate Spade wristlet with extra goodies inside.
Okay. All right. And the page that Heidi is talking about, that is the 1099 Ladies Networking group that everybody can go ahead and join and be a part of. There also is the 1099 Ladies Networking Facebook owners page or founders page that lists out all the events. So we will be having, for the month of May, I believe different individuals, different chapter leaders are doing things differently, and we're still trying to get that all organized. I know we have a newsletter that usually goes out at the beginning of May 1st. So if anybody wants to make sure that they get on that mailing list for the monthly email that comes out from Linda Tello, the founder, that is actually, you can go right to our website, 1099 Ladies Networking, and click on the link to be a part of the newsletter to receive that. You put in your email and the information gets set up there. And you will receive the email usually on the first of the month. Does anybody else have anything else to share? I see Tina put in that she has the RFID wallets and purses are still buy one, get one through for free. Is it buy one, get one free? Is Tina still? Yes. So you would go through and you can connect to Tina at stylingsafety.com. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, Wendy.
Yes.
I'd like to let you know, we went out and saw the Horse and Buggy program yesterday, and I encourage you, if you're looking to get out of the house on Saturday, to take the safari car ride tour through the Horse and Buggy program. It was a great, we all had a great time.
Cool. Janet, I wanted to mention to you that my one of my relatives up in Maryland, she facilitates some some activities for people at senior living communities, and she actually coordinated that the horses went to the nursing homes from the outside, so the adults were able to see the horses. And I didn't know if you coordinated or did anything like that as kind of like an outreach type program, but I thought of you when she sent me the article with the picture of the horses and the people just so pleased to see something from, you know, their windows.
That's awesome. We actually had some people from Cambridge Village come down and ride with us a couple of years ago, so that's something we're still working on with some of the senior centers to get some of them to ride, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Tammy.
I actually just put up a special. I am doing hour sessions. If you buy an hour session and buy the full gallery, I'm taking $250 off. It's I'm calling it the Corona 19 special. So if you book me and you do an hour session, you get the full gallery. You get $250 off.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Anything? We got 6 minutes left. Anybody just want to chat? I'll turn the recording off. We'll just chat. How's that sound?
I just wanted to know what everybody wants to learn how to make. Anything?